Hello everyone, welcome to Module 3 of the PSW NACC certification exam. We'll be going through some multiple choice questions and answers with detailed explanations for the exam. Question 1. What are white blood cells called? A. Platelets. B. Leukocytes. C. Hemoglobin. D. Erythrocytes. Platelets are small blood components that are involved in blood clotting. White blood cells are scientifically known as leukocytes, and they play a crucial role in the immune system by defending the body against infections and foreign substances. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that is responsible for carrying oxygen, while erythrocytes is another name for red blood cells which transports oxygen. So the white blood cells are called, option B, leukocytes. They defend the body against infections and foreign substances. Question 2. Which of the following is correct for recording blood pressure? A. 120/80 mmHg. B. 120/80 bpm. C. 120/80 Celsius. D. 120/80 rpm. The blood pressure is recorded in millimeters of mercury, which is mmHg, and this is the unit that is used to measure the pressure exerted by blood on the walls of the arteries. In option B, bpm, beats per minute, measures the heart rate and not blood pressure. For option C, Celsius is a temperature unit and it is irrelevant to blood pressure. While in option D, RPM is revolutions per minute and it is used for rotational speed, so it is not applicable in this question. Our answer is option A. 120 is the systolic pressure, that is the pressure when the heart beats, while 80 is the diastolic pressure, that is the pressure when the heart rests between beats. So the blood pressure is recorded using the millimeters of mercury. A typical blood pressure reading has the two numbers, which is the 120/80. Question 3. Which part of the digestive system is mainly responsible for nutrient absorption? A. Stomach. B. Small intestine. C. Large intestine. D. Esophagus. The stomach is responsible for breaking down food with digestive enzymes and acids. However, it is not for nutrient absorption. The small intestine is responsible for nutrient absorption in the digestive system. So after the food is broken down in the stomach, it moves into the small intestine where the nutrients like proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and fats are absorbed into the bloodstream through the intestinal walls. The large intestine mainly absorbs water and electrolytes, but not nutrients, while the esophagus transports food from the mouth to the stomach, but it plays no role in nutrient absorption. So our answer here is option B, the small intestine. Question 4. How many paired chromosomes are in a cell? A. 23. B. 206. C. 12. D. 46. The human cells contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, making it a total of 46 chromosomes. Now, each pair consists of one chromosome from each parent. This paired arrangement is crucial for maintaining genetic stability across generations because the chromosomes carry the genes that determine inherited traits. 206 is the number of bones in an adult human skeleton. 12 has no connection to chromosome counts in human cells. For the option D, where we had 46, although there are 46 chromosomes in total, they are arranged as 23 pairs. The question asked how many paired chromosomes are in a cell. So that's why our answer is option A. Question 5. What is the space between two nerves called? A. Synapse. B. Axon. C. Nephron. D. Neuron. Synapse is a small gap or space between two neurons where communication occurs. Option B, axon does not relate to any specific part of the nervous system. Option C, a nephron is a functional unit of the kidney, but it is not related to nerve cells. And in option D, a neuron is an individual nerve cell, but it is not the space between nerve cells. So our answer here is option A. Neurotransmitters are released from one neuron and travel across this synaptic gap to the next neuron, thereby allowing for transmission of nerve impulses. So the space that we see between two neurons is called a synapse. Question 5. What are the female gonads called? A. Vagina. B. Ovaries. C. Cervix. D. Fallopian tubes. The vagina is the muscular canal leading from the external genitals to the cervix of the uterus. The ovaries, on the other hand, are the female gonads because they are responsible for producing the eggs and secreting hormones like estrogen and progesterone. The cervix is the lower part of the uterus that opens into the vagina, while the fallopian tubes are the tubes that carry eggs from the ovaries to the uterus. However, they are not involved in hormone production, or neither are they classified as gonads. So our answer here is option B. The ovaries are the female gonads. Question 7. The cardiovascular system includes the heart, blood, and A. Nerves, B. Kidneys, C. Blood vessels, D. Lymph nodes. The nerves are a part of the nervous system and not the cardiovascular system. The kidneys are part of the urinary system, which involves filtering blood, but it is not a direct component of the cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system is made up of the heart, blood, and blood vessels, and this system is responsible for circulating blood throughout the body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues, and removing waste products. The lymph nodes are part of the lymphatic system and they work alongside the cardiovascular system, but they are not a part of the cardiovascular system. So our answer here is option C. The cardiovascular system is made up of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. Question 8. What is the basic working unit of the kidney? A. Nephron. B. Glomerulus. C. Bowman's capsule. D. Villi. The nephron is the basic working unit of the kidney. Each kidney contains about 1 million nephrons and they are responsible for filtering blood, removing waste products, and regulating fluid and electrolyte balance. Now, the nephron consists of various components like the Bowman's capsule, the glomerulus, the proximal and distal tubules, and the loop of Henle. So looking at the options we have, our answer is option A, the nephron. That is the basic working unit of the kidney because it contains the other options. It's inside the nephron we have the glomerulus, the Bowman's capsule, the proximal and distal tubules, and the loop of Henle. Question 9. The malleus, stapes, and incus are the three ossicles of D. A. Nose. B. Ear. C. Throat. D. Eye. The nose is responsible for the sense of smell and respiration, but it doesn't contain ossicles. The ear, on the other hand, has the three ossicles, which are tiny bones known as the malleus, stapes, and incus, and they are found in the middle ear. These bones play a crucial role in transmitting sound vibrations from the eardrum to the inner ear, where they are converted into nerve signals that the brain can interpret as sound. The throat is involved in swallowing and speech, and the eye does not contain ossicles. It contains structures like the cornea, lens, and retina. So our answer here is option B, the ear. Question 10. What is the medical term for the breastbone? A. Humerus. B. Patella. C. Sternum. D. Femur. The humerus is the bone of the upper arm that extends from the shoulder to the elbow. The patella is the kneecap located in front of the knee joints. The sternum is a flat bone located in the center of the chest, and it connects the ribs via cartilage, forming the front part of the rib cage. The femur is the thigh bone, and it is the longest and strongest bone in the body, extending from the hip to the knee. So the medical term for the breastbone is option C, the sternum. It plays a crucial role in protecting the heart and the lungs. Question 10. What do short bones do in the body? A. Protect the organs. B. They are the vertebrae in the spinal column. C. Bear the weight of the body. D. Allow skill and ease in movement. The short bones in the body definitely do not protect the organs. This is more the function of the flat bones like the skull, ribs, and sternum. These protect internal organs like the brain, heart, and lungs. The vertebrae in the spinal column are irregular bones. They are not short bones. And these irregular bones provide structural support for the body and protect the spinal cord. The bones that bear the weight of the body are the long bones like the femur, tibia, and humerus, and they support the body weight and provide leverage for movement. The short bones are cube-like in shape, and they are found in areas of the body where fine, intricate movement is needed, like the wrists and the ankles. So the short bones allow for skill and ease in movement. They allow for a wide range of movements with stability, especially in areas like the hands and the feet. Question 12. Which of these is not a temperature site? A. Occipital lobe. B. Axilla. C. Tympanic membrane. D. Oral cavity. The occipital lobe is part of the brain located at the back of the head. It is responsible for processing visual information, but it is not related to measuring body temperature. The axilla, also known as the armpit, is the common site for measuring body temperature because it is cooler than other sites like the oral cavity or the tympanic membrane. The tympanic membrane is the eardrum, and it is a common site for measuring body temperature, but you would use an ear thermometer to get the temperature. The oral cavity is the mouth, and it is a standard and widely used area for measuring body temperature. So options B, C, and D are temperature sites. However, option A, the occipital lobe, is not a temperature site. It is a part of the brain, and it is located at the back of the head. Question 13. What are the male gonads called? A. Vas deferens. B. Testicles. C. Scrotum. D. Penis. The vas deferens is a tube that carries sperm from the testicles to the urethra during ejaculation. However, it is not a gonad. The testicles are responsible for producing sperm and the hormone testosterone. They are located in the scrotum, which is a sac of skin that hangs outside the male body. So the testicles are the male gonads. The scrotum is a sac of skin that holds and protects the testicles, while the penis is the male reproductive organ used for urination and sexual intercourse. However, it is not a gonad. The male gonads are option B, testicles. They are responsible for producing sperm and the hormone testosterone. Question 14. Which part of the heart has oxygen-deprived blood? A, aorta. B, brachial artery. C, inferior vena cava. D, radial artery. The aorta carries oxygen-rich blood from the left ventricle to the rest of the body, and it is the largest artery in the body, which is responsible for distributing oxygenated blood. The brachial artery is a major artery in the upper arm that carries oxygen-rich blood to the arm and hands. The inferior vena cava carries oxygen-deprived blood from the lower part of the body back to the right atrium of the heart, while the radial artery is located in the wrist and carries oxygen-rich blood to the forearm and the hand. So the part of the heart that carries the oxygen-deprived blood is option C, the inferior vena cava. The blood has already delivered the oxygen to the body tissues and is returning to the heart to be pumped to the lungs for oxygenation. So it is the inferior vena cava that carries this blood from the lower part of the body back to the right atrium of the heart. Question 15. Which one of the following terms refers to no control of bladder and bowels? A, incontinent. B, inconsistent. C, incompetence. D, incomplete. Our answer here is option A, incontinent. This is the inability to control bladder or bowel functions, and this is a common term in healthcare for describing a lack of voluntary control over urination or defecation. Question 16. The largest bones in the arm and leg are A, humerus and femur. B, radius and fibula. C, radius and tibia. D, ulna and fibula. The humerus is the largest bone in the upper arm, while the femur is the largest bone in the lower leg. Both of these bones are key to supporting the body's weight and facilitating movement. The radius and fibula are smaller bones in the arm and leg. The radius is in the forearm, while the fibula is a smaller bone in the lower leg. The ulna is one of the bones in the forearm, and the fibula is a smaller bone in the lower leg. And these bones are not large in the respective limbs where they are. So the largest bones in the body are found in the arm and leg, and they are the humerus for the arm and the femur for the leg. Question 17. Skeletal muscles are A, striped and smooth. B, smooth in appearance. C, under voluntary control. D, under involuntary control. For this, we'll be going with option C. Skeletal muscles are muscles that attach to bones and that we can control consciously, allowing us to perform movements like walking, lifting, and speaking. These muscles have a striped or straighted appearance, and they are also different from smooth muscles, which can be found in organs like the stomach and intestine. Skeletal muscles are under voluntary control because they are consciously controlled by the brain. So that's why we're going with option C. Question 18. The thyroid gland, pancreas, and pituitary gland are all part of what system? A, circulatory. B, respiratory. C, reproductive. D, endocrine. The circulatory system includes the heart, blood, and blood vessel, and they are responsible for circulating oxygen, nutrients, and waste products throughout the body. The respiratory system involves the lungs and the airways, and they are responsible for breathing and exchanging gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. The reproductive system is responsible for production of offspring, and it includes organs like the ovaries, testes, and uterus. While the endocrine system consists of the thyroid gland, pancreas, and pituitary gland, and they secrete hormones into the bloodstream to regulate various body functions like growth, reproduction, and metabolism. So our answer here is option D, the endocrine system. Question 19. What is the primary function of the respiratory system? A. To remove waste products from the body. B. To transport nutrients to cells. C. To deliver oxygen to the body and remove carbon dioxide. D. To regulate body temperature. The removal of waste products from the system is carried out by the urinary system. The circulatory system transports nutrients to cells through the blood. The respiratory system facilitates the exchange of gases, so it brings oxygen into the body when we inhale, and it removes carbon dioxide, which is a waste product of metabolism, when we exhale. The thermoregulatory system regulates body temperature, and it includes mechanisms like sweating and blood vessel dilation and constriction. So, based on the options we have, the primary function of the respiratory system is option C, to deliver oxygen to the body and remove carbon dioxide. Question 20. The wasting of a tissue, muscle, or organ is referred to as A. Springs, B. Atrophy, C. Dislocation, D. Contractures. A sprain is an injury to a ligament caused by tearing or stretching, and this is often due to twisting or overextending the joints. An atrophy is the wasting or decrease in size of a muscle, tissue, or organ due to lack of use or injury or even disease. Dislocation is the displacement of a bone from its normal position in the joints, and it is typically caused by injury or trauma. A contracture is a permanent shortening of muscles or tendons, and this can lead to stiffness and limited movement of the affected joints. Based on the options we have here, the correct answer is option B, atrophy. When a muscle is not used for an extended period of time, muscle atrophy can occur. Question 21. What keeps the skin soft and shiny with the secretion of oil? A. Hair shafts. B. Sweat ducts. C. Sebaceous glands. D. Nail beds. The hair shafts are part of the hair that extends above the skin's surface, but they are not involved in secreting oil for the skin. Sweat ducts are part of the sweat glands, which produces sweat to help regulate body temperature. Sebaceous glands are specialized skin glands that secrete an oily substance called sebum. This oil helps to keep the skin soft, shiny, and lubricated. While the nail beds are the areas underneath the nails. They do not secrete oil, and their function is to support the growth and attachment of the nails. So the correct answer here is option C, the sebaceous glands. The oil that is secreted from these glands plays a major role in protecting the skin from infections and dehydration. Question 22. Toxins and waste products stay in the kidneys and form A. Bile ducts, B. Urine, C. Bile stones, D. Kidney stones. The bile ducts are part of the digestive system, not the urinary system, so that is not the correct option. Urine is the fluid that is produced by the kidneys as a result of filtering toxins, waste products, and excess substances like water and salts from the bloodstream. Bile stones, also known as gallstones, are hardened deposits that form in the gallbladder due to excess cholesterol or bilirubin, not from the waste filtered by the kidneys. Kidney stones are solid crystals that form in the kidneys from excesses of calcium, oxalate, or uric acid. While they are related to waste processing in the kidneys, they are not the liquid substance excreted by the kidneys. So our answer here is option B, urine. Question 23. The air sacs that expand and contract when breathing is called A. Alveoli, B. Tubus, C. Rugae, D. Tonsils. Our answer here is option A, the alveoli. These are the tiny air sacs in the lungs where gas exchange occurs. They expand when you inhale, filling with oxygen-rich air, and they contract when you exhale, helping to remove carbon dioxide from the body. The alveoli is essential for efficient breathing and the transfer of oxygen into the blood. Question 24. Alveoli that loses their elasticity and barrel chest are signs of what disease? A. Asthma, B. Emphysema, C. Tuberculosis, D. Bronchitis. Asthma involves inflammation and narrowing of the airways, but it does not affect the alveoli or lead to a loss of lung elasticity. Emphysema is a type of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease in which the alveoli in the lungs loses their elasticity. The loss of elasticity makes it difficult for the lungs to contract fully, leading to air trapping and an expanded chest appearance, often described as a barrel chest. Tuberculosis is a bacterial infection that can damage lung tissue, but it does not cause the alveoli elasticity loss. Bronchitis involves inflammation of the bronchial tubes and it does not impact the alveoli elasticity. So our answer here is option B, emphysema. In this type of disease, the lungs loses their capacity, elasticity. Question 25. What is an inflammation of the bladder called? A. Renal calculi, B. Cystitis, C. Urinary tract infection, D. Pyelonephritis. Our answer here is option C. Cystitis is a condition that is caused by a bacterial infection, and it is commonly classified as a lower urinary tract infection. Symptoms may include pain during urination, frequent urge to urinate, and abdominal discomfort. This brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also hit the subscribe button so that you'll be informed when our next module will be dropping. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.